Howdy, 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 howdy. Yes, indeed. Another Monday for prayer for marriages. We are back. We are back. We are back. I know. Seem like we never left. These Monday come around so quick. Good to be back. Good to be back, family and friends. Wherever you're tuning from, please like, share, call a friend, phone a friend, text a friend, send a link to a friend. We are back for prayer for marriages, where we provide tips and ways to improve ourselves so we can be better partner for our spouse, right? And yes, this is prayer for marriage, and our goals and aspiration is to help save one marriage at a time. Yes, and we know every marriage will not work. Yes, we understand marriage is not for everyone, but if you so desire and you're already married and you want to make it work, we want to help give you the tools and tips to help make it work. Or if you just want to make it better, right? There's always room for improvement. So that's why we're here. We don't know it all. We don't have all the answer, but whatever we do find out and we put into practice that works for us, we wanted to share with you. And I think last week we had started on a new topic. So guess what we have today? Myself, Evangelist Nikki McKenzie. Yes, I'm just a simple girl, just trying to be better than I was the day before. That is my daily goal, to improve in my knowledge, understanding, not just of myself, but my relationship with our Heavenly Father. Yes, I'm a faith believing child of God. I know it's not a religious thing for everyone, but for me, yes, I do believe in our Lord and Savior. So yes. And I have what else? Our mastermind behind the scene. We have a bit of technical difficulties. That's what happened with our late stars. Apologies for that. Evangelist Baker with us. She is having technical difficulties. So she's on. You'll be able to see her, but don't be able to hear her. So she's in the back channel workout, the little kinks that causing a little bit of technical difficulty. So bear with us, and let me know if you can hear us. Glory to God. So we're going to delve in. Last week, we touched on the topic, what is your attachment style? And also, what is your partner, your spouse attachment style? Last week, the goal was to find out what is your spouse attachment style, because we thought a lot of folks already know what their attachment style is, right? But we learned that a lot of folks didn't even know that there was such a thing. So we spoke last week, there is different ways you can find out, you and your spouse. There are a lot of different websites you can Google, attachment style quiz. There's so many different one out there. You get to choose which one works for you. We're not here promoting and getting paid for specific website. That's why I don't bring a specific website, right? But you can Google and find specific website that might tailor to you to find out your attachment style, and your spouse also can find out their attachment style. So we know that there are four different attachment style, and we spoke, and there is one secure attachment style, and there is three insecure attachment style. We delved deep more into the insecure attachment style last week, which is avoidant, dismissive, disorganized, or anxious attachment style. So either yourself or your spouse, you might notice those style within them. Once they do the quiz, you'll be like, this is an eye opener. That makes sense. But this week, for the short time that we have, we wanted to talk more this week about secure attachment style. Last week, as I promised last week that Evangelist Baker is going to bring the receipt. That she was going to bring the receipt this week. Yes, the receipt. So, yes, she did take the challenge and she did do the quiz. I'm so proud of her. She did the quiz last week for us, and the receipt is in. Drum roll, she is in the secure attachment style. And that is where we want to get everyone to eventually get to that level where you're in a secure attachment style. So that's how we implore you to do the quiz so you know what you need to work on. And if you're already in a secure attachment style, hey, find somebody that you can mentor, you can partner with to help them get to that secure attachment style. So, what is a secure attachment style? Secure attachment style is defined by an ability to build healthy, long-lasting relationship. In a nutshell, right? Long-lasting, where you're not quitting, jumping ship, gaslighting someone, ghosting someone, being narcissistic to someone, bleeding on someone that never cut you, and the list goes on, right? But what are some signs of a secure attachment style as adults in our relationship? There's a different things that we do to make us feel secure. And we always wonder, why am I always like this? Remember, we said last week, all attachment style stem from childhood and our caregivers and how we were raised, our environment, the people that we look up to in our home. It helped foster our attachment style from, I think a study said, you start from your attachment style from 7 months old. That's how far it goes back. So it does impact us, our first impression of love, connection, right? Commitment. It starts in our childhood. How our caregivers show up, our parents, our grandparents, whoever that was our caregivers in our home. So I want to look at some of the secure attachment styles in as adults, right? Secure attachments in childhood lays a strong foundation, like I said, for healthy adult relationships. What it does, it promotes positive interaction. We enjoy talking to our partner and spending time together. Our interaction are characterized by warmth, affection, and mutual respect. That's when you know you're secure, where you're not gaslighting and you're avoiding each other, right? A secure attachment style trust. It builds trust. We trust them and we feel secure with our spouse. And we're really specifying spouse, but remember, this goes to friendship, right? With your children, your business partner, and so forth. So you can tailor it to what works for you, but we more want to talk about in your marriages, right? So it does foster trust when you have a secure attachment style. So there is minimal jealousy, possessiveness, or reassurance seeking, or you constantly have to have your spouse validating you, right? So it's also when you're secure in your attachment style, it fosters honesty. We don't feel the need for mind games and cryptic messages, right? Where we're trying to decode. You send it in code, like, what does this mean? And you started to dissect it in your head without having that dialogue and checking for understanding and clarification. You get a text, you call all your friend. What does this mean? Is he breaking up with me? Is he, you started to make up stuff that's not there. But when you are secure, you can honestly go to the person and say, listen, this message is not clear. I just want to check for understanding. This is what you mean, without feeling that they're going to resent you, right? So when you're secure, you're easily able to communicate openly and honestly because we trust our spouse to listen without judgment, right? But if you never had that as a child, where every time you try to speak, you're told be quiet and you're judged and criticized, right? And punished, you will come into adulthood with that same mindset when you talk to your spouse. But when you're secure, you are able to have those honest and open dialogue, which is what we all want everyone to work towards, where you're not hyperventilating when your spouse said, honey, I think we need to talk. Right? I heard a lot of my male friends say that's something that we women should not say. I don't know why it gives men anxiety, but I think those men, they're not secure, right? They're insecure. When a man said, or a woman, it could go both ways, but I mostly hear from the men. So that's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying it's gender, but I'm telling you what I heard most from. But if you are, are you what a male or female, no gender difference there. But I was just saying those that talk to me the most about that is the men, like when their wife said, honey, we need to talk. They're trying to do everything to avoid that conversation, right? But I always tell them, check your attachment style. Did you have that open communication when you were growing up to be able to talk to your father, your mother, or whoever was raising you without being judged and criticized? So that might be why when your spouse said we need to talk and you start hyperventilating, you need to do this quiz. Google attachment style quiz, and there will be a plethora of quiz come up for you to be able to take. When you have a secure attachment style, you're vulnerable. We feel comfortable being vulnerable with each other, sharing our innermost thought, feelings, needs, fear, and desires. Into me, you see. A lot of folks in this relationship and they can't be vulnerable. It is to the point where some folks be like, they can't be intimate with their spouse unless the light is off, They have to have all their clothes on because it's real out there in these 2024 streets, believe you me. But this might be because you probably were body shamed, right? So you're not secure in your own body because of what you were told. So you can't be vulnerable. You don't want them to see your innermost part of you, right? You feel that your desires is not going to be met. And if you do tell them, they're going to laugh or they're going to criticize you or use it against you. But when you're secure, you are okay being vulnerable and okay with the response that you get back because you don't take it as an attack, right? Conflict resolution. When you have a secure attachment style, my friend, let me tell you, you would able to have a disagreement and not disagreeing with the person, right? A lot of time we're fighting our spouse and we're not attacking the argument because of our attachment style. When you're insecure attachment style, you're going to attack, right? You're going to name calling, you're going to belittle, they said hit below the belt, right? But when you're secure, you have conflict resolution. You can disagree. Yeah, disagreement will always go happen, right? But we can talk them out. Secure attachment style help us approach problem together, finding solution that works for everyone, a win-win situation where you don't feel like they say something and it triggers you, and instead of addressing that, you start attacking your spouse. See, this is why I don't be vulnerable to you. Now you're gonna use whatever against me, and we started, and they're looking at you like, what are we talking about here? You ever find yourself? I know y'all, all secure. But if ever a time you find yourself where you having a conversation with your spouse and you both are off the wall and you're trying to figure out, stick a pin. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, right? Where we, sometimes we women, we play a record. We go historical. Are we talking about something happened 2, 3, 4 days ago? And they're talking about what happening in the now? And we having two different conversation because we have not taken time to check for understanding, right? We don't take the time to understand and recheck. Just clarify, this is what we're discussing, right? And when we don't do that, what we do, we attack each other. That's when you have an insecure attachment style. But when you're secure, you will find a solution. You will work together. And even if they said it's not time to talk, let's stick a pin, let's reassess and come back. You're okay. You're like, no, this got to be solved now. I can't stop. We can't move forward until we get a resolution now. You said, no, I need time to reassess. And you're okay with that. But you set a timeline because guess what? Now you have boundaries. You know how to set boundaries and how to respect people's time. And you talk it through and said, okay, right now is not the time. I need some time to reassess and think about what you said so I can give you the proper solution. That is healthy. Where you're not, no, I can't sleep until we have this conversation. I'm going to stay up all night. And you got work in the morning. And you stayed up all night. Then you get up in the morning mad again. No, I'm not saying go to bed mad because when you go to bed mad, you're not mad at the problem. You're mad at your spouse. Don't go to bed mad at your spouse. Don't go to bed mad at the problem. Go to bed with the mindset that I'm going to reassess in the morning to find a solution to the problem. That's when you're in a secure attachment style. When you're in a secure attachment style, you find balance. We enjoy our time with our partner, but also maintain our own individuality, right? We can each pursue our work, friendship, and hobbies. And that's how we said when you come into a relationship, right? We're independent and interdependent. Independent meaning I have my own hobbies before I met my spouse, and even acquired some new one after I met him. But we discuss it. He have his own hobbies, and he get to do his own hobbies and his pastime to make him feel fulfilled. And then we come back and we reassess. But we don't have to do everything together. Oh, he can't go to the soccer field without me, right? No, that's his thing. A lot of time you want me to come be his cheerleader. I don't mind. But a lot of time I'm like, listen, you good. Go hang out with your boys. Go have fun because I need my me time. Right? I like to walk. I like to go on the walking trail. I like to go up to the pond and sit there and just read a book and feed the duck and just be in nature. Right? There's time you like to come with me and I enjoy, but there's time I just need my me time. So I can come back and we can have new conversation and things to talk about. That is healthy. When you feel like your spouse can't do nothing without you and go nowhere without you, that is over attachment, right? That is not healthy. We need to understand relationship. We are interdependent and independent to pursue our own hobbies, our own goals, our own dream, right? Support. We support each other. That's when you know you're healthy. You're not warring against each other, competing against each other. A lot of folks is in a relationship and they're competing against their spouse. You're tearing on from within. We support each other goals, each other dreams and aspiration. How? Because we have those conversations, right? We celebrate each other's success and provide comfort and encouragement during tough times. I know married folks telling me that they have a big award at work and they've got promoted at work and they're scared to tell their spouse because it become a competition. They can't congratulate each other. Like, what are we doing? That is unhealthy. But when you're secure, you want your spouse to win because it's a win for both, right? If your spouse win, you win. If they take a L, we both take a L because we are one. But where we get this mindset in these 2024 street where we're competing against each other, right? Where a spouse can't even tell their partner that they got an increase, they got a promotion at work. There's a banquet or something going on, celebrating them and giving them their accolades and stuff. Oh, I don't want to tell him. I don't want to tell her because they're gonna be jealous of my promotion. They're gonna be jealous that I'm making more money than them. Really? That's a recipe for divorce. We got to support each other endeavor, support each other because we need the support too. Because if we're not there for each other, that means we're entertaining other people. Because who are you sharing your success with, right? And that's why you have these taxation ship, this situation ship, and this third party ship, right? Because we're not supporting each other. We don't want that in our relationship because those are insecure attachment style when you can share your win with your spouse. It's imperative that we support each other. And that's why I want to help y'all get to secure attachment styles. So if you find yourself competing with your spouse, or if you find your spouse competing with you, right? Where you got a promotion, they got a one up on you. They'll take on 3, 4 jobs because they said they have to make more money than you. Like, really now? Because it's a competition thing. We need to retrain those mindsets. So do the quiz to see where you fall because it's not too late to change, to improve. And that's why I want to give you the tips and the tool how to get into a secure attachment style and get out of the unhealthy attachment style because it's not giving you the result that you want. And how do we cultivate secure attachment style with our spouse? Remember, our attachment style aren't set in stone. And that's what I'm saying. Even though our childhood shape us, it's our adult life. As adult, it's our responsibility to heal that inner child, to get the result that we want. It starts with us. It is impossible to change or shift our attachment style in different relationship with different people if we don't know what our attachment style is. It starts with us, right? How are we going to try to change our spouse when we don't even know what ours are? And if you find yourself not in a secure, you're going to bleed on your spouse. And the spouse might be in a secure, but you think he might be the toxic one, right? Because it's easy for us to project what's within. But when we understand how to get out of that, that it's not too late. When you hear people say, "This is how I stay," this is how I stay, right? They're telling you they're not willing to do the work to change. But if you have a made up mind that I need to be secure in my relationship where I'm not overcoming with jealousy, clinginess, right? Gaslighting, avoidance, right? And all the negative lights that do not bring us fulfillment, you have an opportunity now to start from where you are to get into a secure attachment style. It's not too late. So there are some strategies that can help you cultivate secure attachment style starting right now. Spend quality time together. Not just that, okay, he's in one room, he's in one room, one is watching TV, one is on the tablet, and so we're just in the same house. We're not together. Spend quality time with your partner. Build meaningful ritual and enjoyment routine together. Cook together. Take a shower together. Pray together. Go for a walk together. Watch a show together. Netflix and chill together, right? Things that you guys are doing together. That is healthy. Where one person is trying to avoid coming home, waiting till the other person go to bed, or when one is coming home, the other one have to run for an errand when, that they just want to leave, escape from each other. That's not secure. You must enjoy spending quality time with your spouse. And I said, okay, one is in the basement, I'm up here, and you're texting each other, honey, it's dinner time. And you know what I mean? You're not having a dialogue. We're created for community to talk to each other. Yes, technology helps, right? With our nonverbal communication and stuff like that, right? But there's time that we need that intimate connection, that face to face conversation. Sit and have a meal together. And I think Evangelist said it, I think it's last week or the week before, right? Celebrate each other. Celebrate your spouse. When last, it doesn't have to be a big occasion, the occasion that he come home and he's healthy, right? Or she comes home and they're healthy, right? Celebrate that. You know what I mean? Celebrate your togetherness. It doesn't have to be the anniversary or birthday, right? But take time out just to celebrate your spouse. To say, thank you for choosing me. Or just let them know, listen, if I had to do it all over again, I'll choose you a million times over again. Celebrate each other. Folks don't like to spend one sleep in one room and one sleep in the next room. And I understand their circumstances and else. I'm not speaking about those situations. When you're intentionally trying to avoid your spouse, that's the one I'm referring to. We're not talking about those who can't sleep with their spouse because one snored too much and they don't want to get help for the snoring. We're not talking about those situations. Those who have insecure attachments are where they're not comfortable being intimate with their spouse, right? Where they'll come together for 2 minutes or their 5 minutes and they gotta get away from each other, right? We want you to foster quality time together. And I'm speaking for somebody whose love language is quality time, right? Turn off the TV. Go for a walk. Sit on your deck, right? Even sit on your porch or something. Just watch the sunset together. Just watch a tree dancing in the wind. The two of you just talk about it, right? It doesn't take a whole lot of money to do these things naturally. Nature gives us so many things for us to enjoy that we don't have to pay for. Oh, I don't have the time. Guess what? Make the time. Be intentional because we all get 24 hours. You should be able to spare 15 minutes out of your 7-day week just to have that connection with your spouse. If they're long distance, that's fine. Set up video Zoom time. Uninterrupted. Turn off all the distraction off your phone and just have that time where both of you might be cooking or eating dinner together and talking about the meal that you prepare and how you prepare it and what you eat and what I'm eating, right? And talk about it. How was your day? How was the traffic? How was the work? Right? How was church? What did you learn about the message? What do you want to share? What was your understanding? Right? Talk about it. And like I said, it takes intentional. When you're secure, you will be intentionally making these quality times happen. Communicate honestly. Talk to your partner about your feelings and needs. Don't just go along to get along where you're suffocating your own desire and your own needs. Actively listen to your spouse. Avoid playing games and make it a habit to be honest with each other. Don't gaslight each other. Don't try to be on the phone when your spouse is talking and you're catching a part of the conversation that's okay, uh-huh. That is very rude. You do not do that to your boss or your manager when they're talking to you. You give them your undivided attention, or your client. You give them those. When you schedule a meeting with your client, your boss, or your manager, and your one-on-one, no phone is allowed. So don't tell me you can't sit and have a conversation with your spouse without your phone or the TV or your iPad in your ear or something, right? Or, like, come on, what are we talking about? We're adults here. If we can do that, work to our managers. Why can't we be intentional about giving our spouse those undivided attention? Why? Because we're insecure with our spouse. Because they know us and we feel like they're going to judge us and criticize us. But the less you know about your manager, your boss, and whatever, you give them the utmost respect. But the person who's going to be there for you, you give them the least. You lie to them the most and say you're trying to protect them. Like, what are we doing? Be honest. Don't try to pretend and try to think, oh, this is how they're going to react. You're not in your cognitive mind of your spouse. Give them that opportunity, right? A lot of people say, well, I know what they're going to say. No, you don't. You're not in their minds. And then they end up don't be honest. Why? Because growing up as a child, they weren't able to vocalize their feelings, their thought. And if they do, they get punished, they get criticized, they get, shame. So they assume that their partner is going to do the same thing, your spouse is going to do the same thing. But that's unhealthy. That is an unhealthy attachment style. Work on building trust. Show your partner, your spouse, that you count on them. Keep your promises. If you're going to show up at 5 and that's what you commit to and you're not able to communicate ahead of time, communicate ahead of time. I know I said 5 o'clock, but this came up. I'm running a bit behind, right? Don't let them wonder and have to call you, ask you where you are, and then you start getting upset. You see what I'm saying? You do not do that to your job. If you're running late for your job, you do the courtesy and you let your manager know. If you have a business meeting with your client, you do the utmost and you let your client know that something coming, you got stuck in traffic or, just a setback here or whatnot. You are courteous enough to give them the heads up. Why aren't we doing that to our spouse? Because we're in an attachment style that is unhealthy. When you have a healthy, secure attachment style with relationship with your spouse, you will be able to communicate openly and not waiting on them to communicate, to tell you what's happening. Because now when they're calling you, they're already in a defensive mode. But if you proactively let them know what's going ahead of time, like, okay, babe, I understand. Take your time. I'll be here. It's a different conversation. But we play games. But we don't do that with our spouse. We think our job is we're more secure on our job, but it's not. A lot of time we over excel on our job to compensate for our insecurity attachment style. Because it does happen on the job too, where you're overcompensating, where you have to show you have to be the one that's the loudest one in the room. You have to over excel. You want to go early. You want to stay late. Those are not healthy. Those are not healthy, right? I think we might be coming up on time right now. I don't even know what time we're because we're here for 30 minutes. So we know we have some more to go. I want to wrap it up this week. But I think we might be out of time, Evangelist. I don't even know where we at with time. I stopped checking the time. But yeah, we want to help you foster secure attachment style. Working on building trust. Be emotionally available. Be emotionally meaning that you're present in your relationship. Respond to your spouse feeling and needs. Do not dismiss them. Right? A lot of time when we're not in a healthy attachment style, we'll dismiss our spouse emotionally. That's it. They're too needy. You're too emotional. That is you're projecting from your unhealthy attachment style. When you're secure when your attachment style is secure, you're available. You're present in your relationship. You're not out there seeking validation and emotional affair from somebody else to validate you. You're not out there, what do they call it now, Evangelist, on social media, catfishing, something like that, to get all the people to say, oh, you look beautiful or whatnot. You know what I mean? Even though your spouse already told you that you look beautiful in that dress, right? You look adorable, right? You're not out there looking for it because those are unhealthy. You're secure enough to respect when your spouse said something, it makes you feel good. You don't need to go validate it with 5, 10 different people. Be real. Share your innermost thought, fear, dreams, and desires with each other. Let your partner see your most authentic self. A lot of people are putting on a mask. Avoid judgment. Be a safe and supportive space. So these are when you have a healthy attachment style. You're real. You avoid judgment. You're emotionally available. You work on building trust. You communicate honestly. And you spend quality time together. And most importantly, you support each other by working together, right? We can do this. It's not too late, right? If you find yourself on the spectrum of insecure attachment style, it is not too late to work on being secure. If you're overcome with jealousy, anxiety, clinginess, right? Avoiding each other like the plague, right? And the list goes on. You know what is insecure because it doesn't bring you joy. It doesn't make you feel fulfilled. It gives you anxiety, stress, frustration. You have the power today to do that quiz, see where you fall down. And if you already know that you're in a secure attachment style, I implore you, reach out to somebody that you know have some of those traits of insecure attachment style and work with them. Help each other to get to a place where we are secure enough to know that relationship takes work and we don't have to avoid each other. What it takes is us working together and not against each other, right? So we'll stop there for today. Food for thought. I hope something said, let you think about where you need to be, right? And we want all of us to get to that level of secure attachment style. And I know we all can get there. We all can do it, but you have to be intentional. Go to Google, search for attachment style quiz, do the quiz. Be honest when this is now being real with yourself. Be honest when you answer the question because there ain't nobody coming around checking your paper. You got to be real with yourself and answer the question in order for you to change. So with that said, we close for tonight. As Evangelist said, we're not out of material, we just out of time.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Evangelist Nikki. I'm just truly grateful for you on tonight. Thank you for your teaching. I enjoy it. I really do. I really did enjoy it tonight. I did take the quiz. I did take the quiz. So what we implore everyone to go ahead and take the quiz and trust me, find out your attachment style. You will do yourself a justice when you do it. So thank you again. And like Evangelist Nikki said, we are not out of material, we're just out of time. All right. So we want to invite you Thursday night. So before you say I do, if you're not a part of our Thursday night community, you want to join us on Thursday night. This Thursday night, we're going to be talking about, you see the topic? Maintaining a healthy mental health after breakup. So we're going to be talking about that on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please check your time zone to make sure you're linked with us so that you'll join us at 7 p.m. on Thursday night. All right. See you next Monday again. We may continue, we may not. Because I don't think, did you take the um, attachment styles? I can't remember. I know you mentioned them, but did you go in depth with?
No, we only went in depth tonight with the secure because that's the spectrum we want to focus on. We touched on all four last week, but what we want to get everyone to is the secure attachment style and let them know listen, it's not too late. So if you find yourself in the three category of insecure, which is avoidant, dismissive, disorganized, or anxious attachment style, we want to help you get out of there to get to where Evangelist and myself find ourselves in that secure attachment style. And if you need help
To
there,
discuss the other three as well, just to make sure people can get an example and a feel to know how to come out of it.
sound good.
All right.
Yes.
So thank you again for your time and your attention. Listen, as Evangelist Nikki said, please share the broadcast, share it to someone. You know somebody who has attachment style issues. So share it to them. Have an awesome evening. God bless you. Have a safe and wonderful night.